This is the first ever Ford Maverick Tremor, and for 2025 it's been refreshed. I borrowed this truck from Larry H. Miller Super Ford here in Salt Lake City. This truck is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this spec. At the very top is the description with the colors. This is at Desert Sand. And here's a short listing of the standard equipment. This truck does have the 602A equipment group. Also under the options, power moonroof for $995. Base price comes in at $40,195. Destination comes in at $1,595 with a total price of $42,785. And here are the Philly common numbers off to the side. Now I know that the Tremor has been a part of the Maverick in the past. The only difference is it was an add-on package. For 2025, it's its own trim level, which is the most expensive trim level for this model year. Now on the front end, they did refresh the headlights, and the one reason why I would get this is because you do get the extra ground clearance. So you don't have to worry about damaging the truck, or let me just say your wife damaging the front of the truck, hitting a curb or something like that. Just saying, I mean, not saying my wife has ever done that, but maybe she has. But LED headlights do come standard, and they do give you the accent light as well. Incandescent turn signals, and they give you this orange accent on the front. Also, you have this radar, cruise control, front camera, and I like the white lettering on that badge too. Front parking sensors. And they do give you the orange recovery hooks right there. No valance down below. There's also some skid plates under there too. They do have some active grille shutters, if I haven't mentioned that yet, by the way. And then here's a quick peek at the suspension. So this has McPherson front struts. You have the aluminum control arm. And those should be tuned for off-road, I would say, or let's just say performance, right? Fabric material for the liner, and then here are the tires. Now these are a new tire for 2025. These are the Goodyear Territory RTs, and it is a 235/65/17, so 17-inch wheel, which is 29-inch tall tire, 9.3 inches wide, which is pretty funny. And as far as the capacity goes, has 1,984 pounds per tire at 51 psi cold. A little bit of orange on the wheels. Have like a gray to them as well. And here's a nice side view. Painted door handles. More graphic on the bottom. They also give you a Tremor badge right there. And I didn't show it to you, but on the hood, black painted mirror caps, cameras, blind spot, and you do have the smart key system on the doors here. So if you lock it, pushing these lines and then slide it in. A little bit of plastic trimming down below. It says 87 plus, 16.5 gallon fuel tank. And they do provide a liner out back. You know, Ford is really stingy about giving you liners on their trucks. Just saying. More parking sensors. And this truck does have a locker. I think it's like a twin clutch rear or all-wheel drive system, basically. You guys can see that spare tire. And Tremor tuned shock absorbers. You can see that a little bit better back here. Here's your receiver hitch with a 4-pin. Backup camera. And this is not assisted. I don't think you can get an assisted tailgate on Maverick. 400 watts of power right there. And I never really showed this to you guys, but it does say here 12 volt power. Say flex bed. Huh, interesting. And I never showed this either, so today I'm going to do it. So when you pull this out, you do have a little bit deeper storage right there. 20-pound max capacity, it says. This one does have a spray-in bed liner, which comes standard on Super Duty and half ton. You can't get a spray in standard. By the way, power sliding glass with defrost. Really nice. Bed lights right there, and it does turn on those too. So you have incandescent bulbs and then LED. 400 watts of power, did I show that? And then you have the tie down system there too. And then here's a nice side view of the truck. So this is that 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged engine, good for 238 horsepower, which comes in around 5,500 RPMs, and 275 pound-feet of torque, which comes in around 3,000 RPMs. I almost said 4,000, but 3,000. It's gonna have an 8-speed transmission mated to it. Also, it is 10.8 to 1 compression, so that's pretty low for the most part, I would say. And it takes about 5.5 quarts of oil. And I like the fact that you can actually check the oil. Pretty simple, right here. And this is where you fill at, 5W30. Here's some of your, looks to be coolant right there. And if you need to adjust the headlights, right there. Everything's pretty easy to get to, in other words, what I'm trying to show you guys here. But overall, I am gonna try to drive this truck today, so let's go ahead and move on. Now this is gonna be the signature color for the Tremor. They give you like this blue, and you have that orange accent which made its way into the interior. Also on the seats here, these are black. Nice graphic right here too. And you do have a 8-way seat, including the lumbar support. Auto up and down for front and rear windows, which you don't see on the Super Duty or half tons, even in the highest trim levels. B&O sound system. As part of this, you have some of your lighting controls right there. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. Here's that dash. Glove box is right here. It's not assisted. No power seat, but you still have the function to lift the seat up and down, and I like that they give that to you too on both sides. And out back, seat back pocket on both seats, and you guys can see 2 Type-C USBs, 120 volt 400 watt power plug, center armrest, 3 headrests across, and I'm sure you guys would like to see under the seat here, also on the side here, a little bit of storage right there too. And when you flip the seat up, you have decent storage right here. I'm back in the driver's seat. Here's some of the controls on the steering wheel. More of that stitching. You have a 13.2 inch screen, 8 inch screen, and push button starts right down below. You have your air vents, audio controls. This is a hold function if you're at a stoplight. You can slide that rear glass. You have 2 USBs, wireless charger, storage, cup holders. Gear selector is right here. Electronic parking brake right behind it. And then check this out. You have traction control, 4-wheel drive lock, rear lockers right here, auto stop start, and then this does have 1 pedal drive too. Now, as far as this center armrest, this is black and then you see the blue. What are you guys' thoughts with this interior? It's pretty interesting that they went with a blue. I guess they did that because, you know, black is just pretty common in interior colors. Now up top here, this is how you control that sunroof. If you want to tilt it, you push up and then you got to push forward again to put it back down. And then if you slide it, it's all automatic too, so you don't have to hold the button, which is nice. And here are your vanities. A little bit of storage up top here. Let's go ahead and take this for a quick drive. I have grown to really like the Ford Maverick. Now this is my first time actually driving one on the highway, so we're gonna hop on the interstate here. Now with these Tremor shocks, this truck's a little bouncy. Normally you get a softer ride with off-road suspension. That's why I say this is more performance-based suspension, right? And the power, I mean, this truck is fast. I mean, for what it is, it's not like knock your socks off fast, but it's quick for what it is, for sure. Like, the engine is really responsive. When you give it a wide open throttle, it just goes. Steering feel, it's a little loose for my taste, but I mean, it works. The seats are pretty comfortable. I gotta go all the way back though, I'm a little too close. Now you can't push the seat up and down. You can't raise this front part of the cushion here. But yeah, this is really comfortable. You can definitely tell the tires are probably a little bit louder than what you would get on a regular Lariat or XLT. And I didn't mention this on the outside, but you do have outside heated mirrors. I didn't know because it didn't have like a little icon on there basically. But yes, driving this on the highway, this is really comfortable. You have great visibility. This is a pretty big windshield. You have small A-pillars. And out back, if you want to slide that rear glass, you can do it. So easy. Now this does have like blind spot monitoring. Oh yeah, this truck is fast. It's quick for what it is. I'm really impressed by the power. Now I know when I drive a hybrid, I'm going to be unimpressed because you don't have the turbocharger, and yeah, you're not going to have the same feel that this engine has here. Now I didn't show it to you earlier, but I'm going to show you the 360. I'm just going to put it in reverse so you guys can see the 360 camera view there. And dual climate control. Your heated seats, you can put it on automatic too, and they work really good. I actually have to turn them off. I do wish you had an option to get ventilated seats. But yeah, overall, this ride's really good. You guys saw what the fuel economy was on it earlier, right? I mean, I would say that 23 combined, I can see that being probably about what you get here. It could be a little bit less, obviously, depending on where you live at, obviously. But yeah, overall, I'm really impressed with this truck, guys. I never thought that these would last as long as they did. I didn't think people would buy compact trucks. I just thought that this was a gimmick, right? Like just like the Fiat 500. The Fiat 500, when they came out, people were buying them. People liked them. They were a little bit smaller, cheaper alternative. And then at some point, they just stopped selling. But no, these are pretty popular. I mean, they definitely have brought the compact truck to the market, and it's done well. Even hitting that bump going over that train track, great. Really nice truck. There's just a little bit more road noise than I would like from these tires, and I think that's like the only negative thing I can really think of right now. Here are the numbers on the door. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 2645 and the rear is 2605. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 5,090 pounds. And you guys see the wheels are going to be 17 by 7 wide. They show an axle code of 38. And then here is the payload, 1,130 pounds. 35 psi for the tires all the way around. So this definitely has the least amount of payload out of all the other trim levels, which is no shocker. They have to raise the gross vehicle weight rating to get more payload, basically. Now, I didn't mention when I drove, brakes have a good feel, great bite, they're not touchy, and they're not like spongy either, so they did a good job overall with this. If you're looking for, you know, a little bit better fuel economy, you still want to drive a truck, like, hey, if you have a Super Duty or any type of HD, I would think this is a perfect second car to have if you don't want to drive that every day, because this thing is actually kind of fun to drive, I will say. Hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Make sure your bell notifications are on. See you guys soon.